morning, Greenlighters. I sure hope you can hear me. I feel like I'm going to have to be yelling because there's something wrong with my computer, with the microphone. So I'm going to dig right into it. I hope y'all had a great summer, an awesome August. Um, we had a couple of deaths in my family in August, and so August was pretty tough, for us, but we're persevering, we're getting along. And I'd like to share from this book that I spent reading in August called Broken Open, How Difficult Time Can Help Us Grow by Elizabeth Lessor. And I just want to share a couple passages with you, and then I'm going to let you go because I've got a date with the pavement. So for me, the last year or so has been a definitely a year of, I feel like a year of lots of changes, and it. I feel like there's some days, as much as things change, that saying that goes, the more they change, the more they stay the same, where you can feel like, man, you're working hard for all these changes to happen, and yet it can still feel like you're on a treadmill, working and running hard, sweating it up and getting nowhere. You're really going nowhere. You're just running in place. And I feel like sometimes that's how it feels. And yet, I look around and I see there are changes happening. There is change. And this change in my life and in my family's life has been really, it's not been easy. It's not been an easy change. It's not been an easy change. And so when I came up with this, or came across this book, it spoke to me in so many ways I just can't begin to tell you. But there's a chapter where she talks about the rapture of being alive. And in that, I'm not going to tell you about the whole chapter because I really would love for y'all to read the book. There's a little passage, and that's how I'm going to share with you, and that's how I'm going to greenlight my day today. And she wrote, "The great loneliness," in italics. Like the loneliness a caterpillar endures when she wraps herself in a silky shroud and begins the long transformation from chrysalis to butterfly. It seems that we too must go through such a time. When life as we have known it is over, when being a caterpillar feels somehow false, and yet we don't know who we're supposed to become. All we know is that something bigger is calling us to change. And though we must make the journey alone, and even if suffering is our only companion, soon enough we will become a butterfly. Soon enough we will taste the rapture of being alive. And that's how I feel. I feel like for the last few years, my life has been changing, slowly changing. A lot of it physically on the outside, most of it on the inside. And it affects the people around me. I know. I know also while I'm going through these changes that I have found myself more and more cocooning and being more by myself. And it does get lonely. It does get lonely, but I know that sometimes that's the way it has to be. For some change, you can't just be around and shake it off and be around other people. I feel like for me, I need to be by myself to figure it out. Because the changes that I'm going through they're not fun, and it colors the way I feel when I'm around everybody. But she does give me, I feel, some hope, because she goes, "What is keeping you from feeling the rapture? I can assure you, you won't find the answer in a lighted room. What stands between you and a full-bodied life can be found only in the shadows. What wants to live in you may be waiting. as it was for me at the end of a long loneliness. And so that gave me hope to think that this time that I'm going through right now, that even though it feels lonely and hard and lonely and hard, that at the end of it I'll be living a wholehearted life, a full-bodied life, that I'll be feeling the rapture of change, and that's what I'm working towards, and that's how I'm greenlighting my day. So I hope you all have a wonderful Tuesday. We'll see you next week. Make it green, people.